it sucks that everything has now turned into this race issue. And I just want to reach out and say, I swear to you, most of us really don't care about the color of someone's skin. We don't. Is that a fly right there? I'm trying to talk about something important and there's a dang fly right there. Let me see. If not, there's something. Yeah, there's a fly. Shiny things. But all these news stories that are coming out and, that are making it this like hardcore race issue, all of this stuff is what's making our world so toxic. And when we post these kind of stories, it's so bizarre to me. As a whole, we have all worked extremely hard. My grandparents, your grandparents, everybody back then, to end segregation, to end this sort of separating of color. But yet, with all these news stories, it seems like they're trying to force segregation. I just don't get it, and I'm just like, no one cares. Really, we don't. But when you're pushing it out there so much, just because I don't have, a distaste in my heart for any person of a different race or nationality, I understand that there are people out there who don't like, African Americans. I understand that there are African Americans who don't like white people. I don't dislike anybody who feels anything about anything. And I can't, because everybody's raised differently. So this whole notion that we all need to think the same, we all need to be on the same wavelength, but you can't think the same as I do on this, and you can't think the same as I do on that because you're not African American, or if it's Caucasian people, you can't think the same thing. You don't know what I'm going through. And I'm just like, stop with the race, stop. And it sounds so silly, I know, I'm sure, to all of you guys, that I am just sad over this, but it's breaking my heart because it's what I do. I'm on social media, and when I see people who I follow, who retweet, who comment, I see it all day, every day, and it's just making me not want to be on social media anymore. I told my husband the other day, I was like, I honestly just want to go and unfollow everyone on Twitter. I've seen a few people who have done it, and they are so heavily criticized, and now I get why they did it. Because they don't want that in their life. They don't want that kind of drama, that toxicity in their life. And I just don't know why, as a society, we're pushing so much to end, political affiliations. I mean, my friend, you can be and feel you can freaking vote for the grass to be the president for all I care. And I know that's like outlandish, but you get what I mean. Like, you're not harming me. You pick who you want. You vote for who you want. But I don't have to agree with it. And that's okay. I don't need to go out of my way to tell you that I disagree with you. Personally, I just stay quiet, because I don't have any interest in debating anything with anyone, because it's not any of our places to. Whoever you vote for, that's your personal reason. Now, if you choose to get into it, then you need to be respectful and understanding that not everybody's going to agree with you. It's the way that we're handling it and how we're just, and I said it today on Twitter, and I think it was the best way for me to put it. Our society has been saying for a long time, case in point, Simone Biles, mental health is important, mental health is important. Whenever she backed out, she was heavily criticized by people for backing out, and she was heavily loved and said yay by people. So the majority of people, though, were sitting there saying, yes, mental health is important. So it's like, in one hand, we're sitting here saying, yes, mental health is important, but in the same breath, we're tearing everyone down who doesn't feel how we feel. And that's weird. You can't do that. you can't sit here and say mental health is important, but only when it benefits me, or only when it's something that I agree with. No, mental health is mental health, and it is important for everyone, not just for you because you are uh, affiliated with a certain political party. Every person on this planet, they have a right to feel how they feel, and mental health is. I feel like this idiot who can't speak right now, but it's it's vitally important. It's important for our growth. It is important for friendships. It's important for relationships like marriages, dating. It's important for jobs. And it's hard to have all of those things if you have people tearing you down. But then in the same breath, we're saying, oh, well, it's your responsibility. You're letting it affect you this way. And I'm like, well, which one is it? Are we supposed to be caring about mental health? Do we not care about mental health? Do we only care about it when it benefits us? Do we not care about it at all and say, that's your problem, you figure that out? And I'm just seeing all of these things everywhere. And everybody keeps saying, because of, what's been happening over the last 18, 19 months, that, we all have more time on our hands and we're all on social media more. Be that as it may, what the hell? It just, wow. Did we just spend all these past, years feeling this way inside, but are just now spewing it all over social media? Because don't get me wrong, everyone's been vocal for as long as social media has existed, but it's been super, super vocal. It's been super in your face. And that, a lot of it actually is what's getting me down. And I know people just say, oh, it's haters, it's this, it's that, it's people who have too much time in their hands, don't pay attention. I tried to explain this because I can't post it, because then I always get those responses, and I just tell my husband, that's not it. That you can't tell someone who's mentally struggling they're just haters. That doesn't work. So I wanted to make this video for anyone who's struggling, or if they themselves are struggling. I mean, I deal with it on social media, a lot of comments lately. And if I try and have a good day, then I get those comments of, well, it's easy for you to say, or not everybody is perfect. And I'm just like, do y'all not realize how many videos I make talking about how much of a terrible mess I am? I mean, I'm very outspoken about it. I'm very outspoken about it because mental health is important to me, and the notion that we're not alone, I think that's something that I want to spread, and I feel that it's my responsibility to spread. As someone on social media who has any sort of following, it is, for me, it's my responsibility as someone who is a people person to spread that a lot of us are struggling. A lot of us are really struggling. And some of our struggles may be apples and oranges, and may be miles different by comparison. I mean, I have someone that I was talking to on Twitter who is going through something that is a million times more devastating than what I'm going through. And I have to remind myself, because I tend to get frustrated myself for being low, and I have to remind myself that it's okay for me to have my low as much as it is for the next person to have their low. And maybe what I'm going through could be worse than what somebody else is going through, as far as how much is piled up, we'll say. But that doesn't mean that they don't have the right to feel how they feel. We all have that right to feel at our lowest and not feel like we're being talked down to, or not feeling like, well, it's not nearly as bad as what other people are going through. And we all say that to ourselves. We all say that to ourselves because that's how we pep ourselves back up. But sometimes you just can't see that. Sometimes it's just you're too far down. And as someone who is really struggling right now, and it sucks because, again, I have my really good moments. And I make sure that when I have my really good moments, especially when my kids are at school and it's just me, that I get on here and that I film and that I get stuff up, because I know right now how I've been, and I've been very unstable. I've been really happy one minute and then really just really sad the next. But I'm definitely having some very low moments, and I'm really trying to work through them. I'm not asking for sympathy, nothing like that. I just I'm very upset with myself. I'm upset that I feel like I can't be mentally there right now for my husband. That I can't be. That he has a promotion this Friday that I bought a dress for that I was so excited for, and it makes me cry even more because I'm like, I'm supposed to be pepped up and excited, and instead I'm sad. So I'm just trying my best to just take some deep breaths and pray to God that Friday is one of my good days. But I don't even know if I'm gonna post this, because I'm sick and tired of this. I'm sick and tired of feeling just tired. And I was really excited to start working out and get back into shape. But my son missed school today. He wasn't feeling well, and he'll have to miss tomorrow. So he has to be 24 hours free of any medication and 24 hours better before he can come back to school. So he'll have to miss probably tomorrow. But it's just all this stuff just starts to weigh on you. It really does. It really does. So, anyways, yeah, that's that. You can always tell when I feel awkward or uncomfortable, because it's hard for me to keep like looking in the phone, because I start to get ashamed. And I know, and I tell people this. It's one of those things, practice what you preach. I tell people, don't be ashamed of feeling how you feel. You have that right. And then when it comes to me, then I'm just like, well, you know, you shouldn't be doing that. You have stuff to do. You know, you have a family, you have kids, you have, online. But damn, just damn. I know how I feel. I can only imagine the thousands of people that are going through a lot right now. And I don't feel 100% honest, I don't feel as a society that we are doing our best to help people. Because we're really busy trying to fix ourselves. And that's understandable, and you have to. But gosh, we don't have to go out and attack everybody else in the process. We don't have to do that. We don't have to be mean. We don't have to be hateful, spiteful. We don't have to hurt just because people don't want to do what maybe a majority of people are doing. I mean, for crying out loud, that's life. That's life. There's no way you're gonna get all billions of people on this planet to align themselves with one viewpoint. That is 100% impossible. There is no way. There just isn't. There isn't. You can't ask that of people. And it feels like we are. And if you don't abide by it, if you don't agree with it, you're 100% just dead to the world. And I'm just like, gosh, since when? Like, why do we let this happen? So I've been forced to not speak about anything, to not say anything, because my viewpoints are the minority right now. And they're not for anything bad. It's just that I just feel differently. But that's okay. I don't fight anybody. I'm not disrespectful to anybody. I love everybody, but just because I feel differently than some other people doesn't mean that I'm less of a human being, you know? And I mean, I think a lot of people, not to toot my own horn, but I'm on social media and I do semi okay for a reason. So, obviously not everybody thinks that I'm like this horrible person. But if I were to speak my views on some things, boy, I tell you what, and that's so sad. That's so sad. We shouldn't have to be afraid. We shouldn't have to live in fear of our feelings because it's not what media is like forcing down our throats. But anyways, yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. I thought like I was boiling and like my emotions were hitting that boiling point, a few weeks ago. But no, no, no. They're really boiling. They're really they're really just sort of like this right now. And today my husband called me because on top of all of the emotions that I was going through, on top of my son, not feeling well, um, then the electricity just like went completely out in the house. Then my other son texted me. He said that his high school was completely out of electricity. So, and it's dumb, but it's like those simple little things. It just all of a sudden I just started crying even more. And I was just like, I'm just tired. And it's simple and it's stupid. Like I laugh about it now, but it was one more thing, just kind of added up. Um, so yeah, but yeah, so my, sorry, God, I'm trying to collect my thoughts. Right before my oldest son was about to come home, I decided to light some candles. That helped a lot. That helped a lot. Oh my God. Going to get the edibles, walking into the shop, it was such a calming feeling and smell. All of the leaves and everything. It was so calming. It was so peaceful. Don't worry, I'm not gonna do that stuff. I don't bake. That's not my thing. None of this is my thing. I literally just started yesterday with edibles, but I'm not into baking. My mother does that. So my mom has been baking for a few years now, and she loves it. So it's her thing. It's not me. I tend to drink my beer. It's kind of how I cope with the stress and everything. But even that wasn't working, so I'm hoping that give it a few more days and the edibles will start to help more. But at least the drops did for the nightmares last night. And I was like doing a bunch of research, and they were saying that you really aren't going to like, since there's not, especially in the drops, since there's not like this, is that called TCH, right? Since there's not like much of that at all in there, you're not going to get that feeling, that sort of spacey. You're going to get just a calm feeling. So that's what I'm hoping for. I think I'm actually going to go take some right now and drink some water. I haven't had water today. Like little sips, I think I'm pretty dehydrated, especially with Craig. But yeah, so anyway, so I lit some candles. I started to clean up. We have my husband's promotion is on Friday, and then on the 4th we're getting our household goods. My husband called, and we are still getting our household goods on the 4th. So I'm trying to figure out where everything is going to go in the house, and then get some things moved over to storage. And really, yeah, just all that good stuff. Just trying to get ready. But I will I will do my best, my absolute best. But I totally understand that I'm failing you guys on here, and I'm not saying this out of anything other than I get it. I know that I am. And I know that you did not pay $11.99 to see me cry, to see me not post, and I am truly sorry. Um, I didn't expect to go through this move not be able to post a lot because we didn't have our stuff, still don't have our stuff, and then to be going through just constant mental and emotional struggles right now. I did not see this coming. I didn't expect this. I don't want to pull away from social media because, like I said, I have my good moments. If I was just constantly 100% down, I would be pulling back from social media, which I'll probably pull back a little bit from Twitter and Instagram, especially Twitter. Especially Twitter. It's just, oh my God, it's so toxic. Um, but I just want to say thank you. Thank you to everyone, really. No particular reason, just thank you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being alive. Just thank you.